Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of What's in Theaters, the show where we talk about movies, movie news, streaming, and do some trailer reactions. I am your humble host with the most, Jeremy Stone, with a face for radio and a voice for print. So, just got seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Okay, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to go into spoilers. I'm just going to go I'm not going to go like plot spoilers. I'm going to keep it like spoiler free. But I wrote a list of things when the credits were rolling that I need to get off my chest because I felt like I was going to miss a couple. So let's just get into it. Let's cover the good. Let's cover the good because the list of the bad is much longer than the good. The good, Winston Duke. Winston Duke's M'Baku. Every scene he's in, he's not in many scenes, but the scenes that he's in, he stands out. He has a charm and a charisma to him. And I feel like he was very underutilized. When I'm looking at him, he had a funny line, he had action, he had physical like humor. He was great. Angela Bassett as the queen, she carried that film right from the get go. It's just like, damn, this is a powerhouse actress. She did a phenomenal job. You could feel the weight and the burden and the pain and the anguish and the sadness, while at still time I have to be the leader. I am the queen of Wakanda. And it's like I want to break down, but I have to be strong at the same time. She did a phenomenal job. Namor. Surprisingly, I was like, Namor, they're gonna have Namor as a villain, the little angel on the ankle wings kind of guy, Aquaman light, we're gonna have Namor. Like, really? I, damn, I gotta say, co- colored me surprised. He quite the combatant, quite a formidable warrior. I was surprised. I was like, all right. Let me write down another negative. Just came to mind. Sorry, but yeah, I was surprised by how interesting of a character Namor was. So that was like three things to me. That was three things of the good. Now let's get to the bad. This movie is too goddamn long. This movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes. And oh my God, with previews and trailers, you're gonna be sitting down for 3 hours. You get your bathroom break in, wear an adult diaper. I don't know. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it does not need to be 2 hours and 40 minutes. There are scenes of this thing. There's like, they could have shortened this, they could have cut that out, they could have, you know, this scene could have been explained in here, and that could have gone. And there's easy 20 minutes that could have been shortened. It, just just because I mean, you might make it like, ooh, we're making this film and it's gonna be 2 hours and 40 minutes long because we got so much story to tell. You had quite a bit of filler and not a lot of thriller. Okay, so might want to shorten that up. Next one. This wasn't as egregious as if you saw Black Adam, but there's like 5 scenes of slow motion in this thing. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's one scene you see in the trailer. It's like the throne room and it's being covered in water, and that looks fine. That looks fine. But the other scenes of slow motion, it's like, this doesn't need to happen. This doesn't need to be in slow motion. Ooh, it's slow motion action. This movie's already 2 hours and 40 minutes. Let's wrap this up, okay? I'm not a big fan of overly used slow motion. Um, my third gripe is the music. Not so much background like drum music, but the vocals music. I think one of the songs was by Rihanna or something. To to me is like, no, I didn't care for the music. It was just underwhelming. It was garbage. This one should have been on the top of the list. That I'm going to say right now, but I was writing them down in the theater. Uh, no T'Challa. Chadwick Boseman's charisma and humor and presence in, first of all, in Captain America Civil War, because I think that's when we were introduced to him, and then later in Black Panther, there's a commanding presence he has. And yes, we lost him because I think of colon cancer, some cancer. Uh, very unfortunate. But this movie really did need a T'Challa. And what I mean by that is they really should have recast. They should have found another actor to play T'Challa, because you really do feel the absence of that character to push the narrative forward. This one felt like it was dragging its feet. Where when you had the first Black Panther, it was running full steam ahead. It was they should have recast. They should have recast. Um, I wrote my notes too slow. There were some pacing issues where you're just like, okay, in this scene, only this part matters, and the rest of this is just filler nonsense garbage. So they should have shortened that up. The next gripe I have is, I hope you like reading, because there's a lot of subtitles in this film. It's just, and I'm gonna combine this with my next gripe: the switching between languages. And what I mean by that is the Namors, the Talikans, which this one's more understandable. They talk in their native language to each other. That's fine, but and they have subtitles on the screen of what they're saying. The one that really bugs me, and I really don't understand this, is the Wakandans will talk to each other like a word, like a sentence in Wakandan. Like, oh my queen, let me speak. It's like, okay, you may speak, and then the rest of the whole scene will be in English. What was the point of having three words in Wakandan and then having the rest of the paragraph in English? Make a decision and stick with it. Do it right or don't do it at all. I don't get this, like, oh, Wakandan for this word and the English for the rest of this sentence, and then this phrase in Wakandan, and what? I don't get, what was the point? Pick a language, stick with it. Jeez Louise. The other one, this one, I wrote this down. This is more like a physical design, I guess, but the Ironheart suit. Ironheart was not in this film as much as I thought Ironheart was going to be, which I guess is fine. I'm not a fan of derivative characters. You have Batman, then you have Batgirl. You have Superman, you have Supergirl. You have Iron Man, you have Ironheart. And if you think I'm crapping on the women, guess what? I don't care for War Machine either. It's just another Iron Man. Okay? There's this. I don't even care for Robin. I already have Batman. I don't need another orphan. I have Batman. Okay? So don't be like, oh, you're doing it because of the women. No, there's some male characters that are derivative. I don't care for them either. Okay. The Ironheart suit, it very looked like a fusion of I want to say Samus Aran from the Metroid games on Nintendo, and a fusion of that and Mega Man, the Blue Bomber. It was like, it looks very semi Power Ranger ish. So if they do an Ironheart, if we see Ironheart again, I'd like to see a little bit of a different style. It was interesting. It looked very anime ish, if that makes sense. I mean, once you see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Uh, Next gripe, boring action. There's three action scenes. The first one is just boring. It starts with a car chase. It's like, ooh, a car chase. I've never seen this before. And they go into a spear fight. You've seen it in the trailer, no spoilers. So, uh, the two other scenes. This the second scene with Namor, and you see this once again in the trailer. So no spoilers. He's in Wakanda. That one was bad. That one was significantly better. Then you had the third, and there's only like three action scenes in this. And then the third one you see, it's like it was serviceable. It was better than the first, but not as good as the second. It was just like it was nothing spectacular. There was nothing shock and awe and like, oh my goodness, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's root for the home team. It was just like whatever. Let's see. I'm gonna I'm gonna do this next gripe. There is Umbaku says something that Namor is supposedly as strong as the Hulk. I'm sorry, what? Namor, who's built like a human, is as strong as the Incredible Hulk, who is bigger than a human. How? Because he swims underwater? Now, maybe you could say because of the pressure of the ocean strengthened his bones and strengthens his muscles. That way, when he's out on the land, he's not as restricted from the pressure of the ocean. Oh, okay, I could probably get a little behind that. Now, since we've had several iterations of the Hulk, we've had the 2008 Ed Norton Hulk with his ultra super bodybuilder mega Hulk form, striations and everything, utter perfection. Then you had Hulk in 2012 Avengers, and now you have Pussy Professor Hulk, who's like, oh, he's a pacifist. And here's an interesting part in Avengers Endgame when they travel back in time and they go to the Battle of New York in 2012, and you see, if you look there is a noticeable size difference between Rage Hulk and Professor Hulk. Like he is shorter and smaller, and it's like, yeah, he needs to rage out. He needs to become the beast. He needs to become a threat again. But and again, this is Black Panther, not Avengers. Anyways, but I thought it was interesting that they mentioned like, oh yeah, he's supposedly as strong as Hulk. What? Whatever. And my last gripe about this film, the post credit scene, absolutely worthless, throwaway. Don't even. It adds nothing. Nothing. It'll end. You'll watch the credits, and then it'll pick right back up where the movie ended. And you're sitting this, and it's just like, I need to wait for this. And there's not a second post credit scene. You watch the rest of the credits, and then the lights come on. Yeah, it was like, all right, 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I get one absolute throwaway post credit scene. Usually, the post credit scenes are an event. They lead to where the future of the MCU might be headed towards, or allude to this character that you go, oh, maybe that's going to be in the next two movies over, not 2 years, but maybe two movies. Nope, not even that. Just picks right back up. Is throwaway, nothing. Now, when you see the underwater action or the underwater city of Talocan, where Namor is, that's actually one of the things that is quite visually pleasing to look at. And it's weird. I thought Namor was going to be one of the worst parts of this film, and he actually ended up being the best part, one of the best parts of the film. I don't want to say this is a bad movie. It's just a very boring movie. There is stuff to like. The way they deal with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, which means the passing of T'Challa. They wasted no time with that. What they had with Namor, Angela Bassett, Winston Duke. There are things to like in this film. But in my opinion, it is a very boring film. I- And because the MCU usually has this light levity of fun, even in some of the heavier films like Captain America, The Winter Soldier, um, Infinity War, Endgame, heavy films. But there's always something to like look forward to and some levity and something to laugh about. And this one was too gosh darn serious. This was just serious and dour and just I don't know. It wasn't fun. It wasn't exciting. Just my opinion. It's not a bad film. Like I said, it's a boring film. And you probably think like, well, isn't that kind of one of the same thing? I've seen some shitty films where I could look at like some of the asylum films or some of the trauma films, the straight to DVD absolute garbage crap films. But then you look at it, you're like, shit's stupid, but it's kind of entertaining. Uh, one film, 1993. I think it's a trauma film. It's called Frankenhooker. It's as awesome as it sounds, and by me, it's bad. It's a bad film, but it is so entertaining. Like there is entertainment value to have in that film. 1978. Oh, it was shortly after Planet of the Apes came out. It's called Planet of Dinosaurs, I think it's called. Even that's someone I have a soft spot for it. Some people I could understand if people say it's a bad film, but for me, it's a bad film, but it's damn entertaining. You know, well, at the end of the day, I want to be entertained. And Black Panther 2 did not do it. Black Panther 1, phenomenal. Phenomenal film. This one doesn't even hold a candle to it. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Anyways, comment down section below. Let me know your thoughts. What did you think of Black Panther 2? If you liked it, I'm jealous of you. I wish I liked it. Sorry, I didn't. Take care. Take it easy.